You're watching Morning at NTV.
Good morning to you from where you're watching us from. This is Morning at NTV and this is Take Note. And on Take Note today, we'll be talking about the big thing that's happening. Kids are going back to school. What is the role of the school and what is the role of the parents in ensuring that these kids, the children, get the best they can? I was having a discussion with my mentor and she was telling me, you know what, the best investment that you can ever make for your children is to give them a decent education. And today in studio I have Tushabe Betty, who is the director of Umbua Parents School, and she's also an educationist. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
There's this discussion we were having with you before we came on, and we were talking about children nowadays. It's back to school week and children are waking up so early. I come to work at around 5. And at that hour where I stay, I see parents taking children to school at that hour.
Sure.
And in the evening when I'm getting back, most of them I come back home with. Is it productive? Why should children go to school that early?
I think it may be productive, it may not, but there are so many reasons why children go back to school. I mean, go very early. In the first place, parents feel should give education to their children as an inheritance.
Yes.
And they feel that's where they will reap most. But there are so many reasons why these children are leaving very early and going back very late. One, we have issues of transport. You know our congestion in the city. There's a lot of jam. So parents raise very early because they use the same transport to take their children to school and be in position to report at the place of work early enough. Even policies of schools, because many schools have buses and they pick children from their homes to school. Now they also have to leave very early. By 5 they are leaving the schools to go and pick these children. For if they leave by 6, that means they are not going to be in position to beat the jam. By 8 they will still be on the road.
Then does that mean that the schools need to pay into perspective finishing the school timetable early enough so these children go back home early enough and rest enough?
Yes.
Do you think that is something that schools need to pay into perspective?
I think there are so many things that are really causing these children leaving early and coming back late. Because when the results come back, all parents will look at those schools which are appearing at the top.
Yes.
So the schools are doing what they think that it is their best to start as early as possible, and the parents also are looking up to that.
Yes.
They are not putting other areas into consideration. I feel it's not the best.
Okay.
Secondly, the monitoring of the Ministry of Education is also at the low best, because schools, some think they are doing whatever they want, the way they want it.
Yes.
The follow-up, they are not, the supervision is minimal. I feel it also needs to be
looked
stepped
into.
up.
There are other schools also that actually consider weekend tuition as important. In your opinion, is it important?
I don't think. And what does this teacher target? Because if I'm helping a child maybe over the weekend, it can happen. When this child has a certain area you need to develop, maybe the literacy part, and I'm able to center this child because this is the time I have time, one-on-one. But again, if I'm doing Saturday or weekend teaching, I'm teaching the whole class like normal lessons, then I'm doing nothing because I'm not centering this particular individual.
Yes.
Ordinarily, teachers would create that time to center a particular individual. But you are going to find a school is full class teaching, then it may make less impact.
Yes, I totally agree with you. Let's talk about the factors parents need to consider when looking out for schools. This is the week when children are going back to school, and I'm sure there are many cases this week of parents changing schools for their kids, or either taking young ones who are first timers in school to school. So when parents are changing their schools or are looking out for a school to put in their children? What factors should they consider?
I feel a parent should look at a school that will bring out everything in a child, the all-round teaching.
Correct.
Yes, not only academics. I'll look at a school that will take care of my child well. I always tell teachers, before we teach these children, let's love them. Let's appreciate them. Let them make them feel themselves, feel their worthiness.
Yes.
Because if I don't feel I have value, then tomorrow I may achieve less. So, which school that is going to make my child feel comfortable? Because really, if I'm comfortable, I'll be productive.
So number one, comfort.
Yes.
Number two, the curriculum that brings out the best in
I
the
think
children.
most of Ugandan schools, we are following the national curriculum. But how is it implemented? It's another issue.
So the implementation.
The implementation of the curriculum is also another issue. Because I don't think the ministry has managed to follow up on schools how they are implementing this curriculum. Like for us private schools, we even employ outside supervisors to come and supervise teachers, like the CCTs, so that they see how teachers are implementing the curriculum.
And so how should parents go about investigating that bit of knowing whether this school is actually monitored in terms of implementation? How will they know that? Do they come to offices and ask, do you guys have a person who comes to monitor your implementation of the curriculum? How should they go about it? Because I think it's a dicey aspect. How should parents go about it? You being a director of the school, how do you do it in your school?
I don't think a few parents may know how a curriculum is implemented. It's a few.
Yes.
I'm sure a number of them may not know. But through the interaction, because we invite parents to interact with the teachers and the administrators, so through that interaction, maybe one who has an idea.
Yes.
But that one majorly would be handled by the Ministry of Education.
Okay.
It shouldn't be handled by the
parents.
parents. The parents see, how are my children handled? How are they faring? How is their discipline? What am I supposed to do as a parent to see that my child achieves the best?
Okay.
But the issues of curriculum,
yes,
I don't think.
That, okay, and maybe it can help them to just be inquisitive whenever they have, you know, the parent-teacher kind of meetings that are scheduled.
That is it. Because if you look at our curriculum, when like the thematic curriculum came in, you see parents were part of the people who started criticizing.
Yes.
In reality, I'm a teacher. I know thematic curriculum was targeting literacy and numerals mainly. And on the side of the teacher, it's a bit tedious. But as a supervisor, I like it for it assesses the child in details rather than the other curriculum.
Okay.
But you find the parents are part of the people criticizing because they brought in local language, not getting the basis. Why did it come up? So the parents themselves, they are not conversant with the culture. It's a few.
It's a few, eh? All right. Still on the parents, we were talking about the role, the major role that parents have to play when it comes to the education of their children. And you're telling me parents play a very major role.
True.
Which roles are this, and what should a parent watching us today need to know? What should they do to ensure that their children get the best education possible?
Oh, yes. You see, it is said that it takes a whole village to make a child,
yes,
or to bring up a child.
Yes.
But today, you are going to find that the child is almost left to the teacher. A parent leaves very early for work, and it's all about the teacher. And we have different roles. A child is supposed to be brought up by the two, the teacher and the parents. And you must be sharing. The parent must be knowing what's going on at school. The teacher must be knowing what's going on at home.
Correct.
And if you are that kind of a teacher, you are going to be able to help this child very, very well. Because you know how this child is handled right away from home, and that's the basis for you, where you are going to begin from. I feel together parent and teacher should always work together to play their role of seeing the child modeled into the right person they want.
Okay, and there's this other issue about busy parents and then not able to help their children in their homework. And most of them leave it to the nannies. Is it advisable? Tell them now.
No, that's true, and it's not good at all. Because even if you pay school fee for your child and you don't have time for this child, you are not going to be able to make it what you want to be.
Yes.
In the first place, you are not creating a relationship. You are never there. It will be very, very hard for you as a parent to make the child you want to be when you don't have a relationship. And parents are making mistakes even when they start talking to their children. They want to start talking to them when they are teenagers.
Yes.
Which they didn't do when they are still young. If you didn't create a relationship at the early age,
yes,
you are not going to make it.
So
it's very, very important for parents to start early, to be available, assess the discipline, try to put the child into what you want him or her to be tomorrow, early enough. But if you wait at the late age, yes, you are not going to be able to achieve that.
You've talked about discipline. Where do we draw the line? In schools, you being an educationist and being the director of Mbuya Parent School, where do we draw the line? Because we've had instances in the media of schools where they go, you know, they take it to the next level of discipline children and it becomes abuse. So what is the best structure of disciplining a pupil or a student in school?
Yeah, I think where teachers have been abusing
yes,
the issue of discipline has been where they apply corporal punishment. But thank God presently, our policy doesn't allow that at all. And I know why teachers maybe could look at that, because it's the easiest means. But if you are to discipline a child, in the first place you must have a relationship. You must know why I'm behaving the way I'm behaving. Once you appreciate why I'm behaving the way I'm behaving, then you are able to make a positive change in me.
Okay.
But where you don't take time to study and understand me and appreciate why I'm doing what I'm doing, then it will be very, very hard for you to help me.
So is spanking acceptable?
No, it's not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. I said because it is the easiest means.
Yes.
But a teacher can use other means, and the best is to talk to someone, to a child. Right. And you can talk to the child when you've understood him or her. In the instance where your parents are leaving very early, come back very late, even them, they don't know their children.
Yes.
At times, they're also not patient with them. They're not able to appreciate, my child is doing this because of this. You're not even taking off time to study your child.
Correct.
So it will be very, very hard for you to create the sense of discipline.
The other aspect is, as we come to a close, the home environment and its impact on the children and how it in turn impacts their performance in school. Speak about domestic violence, where parents fight or exchange, you know, very unpleasant words before the children, and also drug abuse in front of the children. Speak a little bit about that as we come to a close.
Yes. Now, the challenge you have, parents have not appreciated that whatever they do, the children are seeing, they are listening, and tomorrow they are going to do exactly the same. Secondly, they've not known whatever they do, the impact it puts on their children. For when you have a quarrel at home, no, it's more putting a negative impact on the child directly. And at times for us teachers, we see it when parents have not seen it. One time a parent asked me, my child has dropped, what's going on? And me, because I interact with the children a lot, I knew that there is a problem. The relationship between mommy and daddy is not good.
Yes.
And when I explained to him, it was,
yes,
he was naive, he was ignorant about it. So that time not given to the children, and you are not, I mean, that character of quarreling and
in front of the children, is not correct.
Affected them a lot. It's not good at all.
All right.
If we are parents, we must have self-management. And I feel every parent would have a child who is well composed.
Okay.
If you can't manage yourself, How do you expect your child to manage herself for
I
himself?
totally agree with you. I think we need a whole day to discuss about that, because parents nowadays assume everything, and they've left their children to the teachers to do every single thing. So as it comes clearly from the educationist herself, Dr. Betty, who is an educationist and also the director of Mbiwa Primary School, ensure that you foster a good relationship with your children. Be involved in their education and walk the journey with them. It's the best that you can ever do. So don't you worry, we'll be having this discussion in length some other time, and we'll have you back in studio. Thank you so much for coming in. That has been Take Note, and that's Morning at NTV for you. In case you still have comments, questions or suggestions, be sure to bring them in. The hashtag is Morning at NTV. That's all we had for you today. Have a good morning.